Alright Tech family, I am super excited because today we're going to check out the best deals available at Best Buy. We're going to head over to the store and take a look at the laptops on display, and then we're going to come back to the studio and we're going to look online at the deals they have available there. Let's go! Whether you're shopping for this Black Friday, Cyber Monday or Christmas, hopefully this guide should help you find that killer deal. And by the way, this video is sponsored by Best Buy, but guess what? I would have covered them anyway. Best Buy, I've been recommending them all year round because they do have some great killer deals. So of course I was going to cover them at this time of year. Alright, after having walked around Best Buy and seen all the cool laptops on display, I know the ones I like, but I thought it would be easier to come back to the studio so I can also go through the catalogue of the laptops available at Best Buy online, because there's a lot more available there. I'm going to break this down. I'm going to start with those who want a budget laptop, those looking for crazy good deals. I'm going to cover you first. Then I'm going to go for those looking for casual use, office workers, students, not looking for something that needs a lot of performance. Then I'm going to talk about laptops for content creators, followed by programmers, and finally, gamers. Links to all the laptops I talk about today will be in the description below. If you do decide to purchase, please use one as it helps support the channel. So budget shoppers, the first thing I'd recommend you do is avoid the bait laptops, if you can afford to, that is. These are laptops that are sold super cheap. You can see one on screen. Asus 14-inch seems like a crazy good deal for $110, but it really isn't, because this has a super slow Intel Celeron processor with only 4 GB of RAM. I've had one of these in the studio. I tested it like crazy. It was actually a smaller Asus one, but same config. Even upgrading the storage to a faster one, it still wasn't viable. It was really, really slow. So instead of buying a laptop like this new, I'd recommend you buy a better laptop on sale as an open box. Best Buy's open box deals are generally laptops that others have returned because they just didn't love them. In my experience, these laptops are often in very good condition and may still be covered by the manufacturer's warranty and are still covered by Best Buy's return period. So you can buy one, try it, and if you don't love it, you can return it. When you combine some of Best Buy's crazy sales with the open box discount, then you get situations like this one, where you have the excellent Yoga 7i 14-inch laptop, 2.2K screen, you've got the powerful i5 from the latest 12th generation, 8 GB of memory, and a 512 gig storage. Normally $1,000, but on sale for $700, and then as an open box, you can see the prices if I click on them. It's around the $450 price tag, which is just incredible for such a laptop and definitely in the budget shoppers range. So having covered that, here are the laptops that I'd recommend for budget shoppers. I've already mentioned the Yoga 7i 14-inch, which is the one I'd personally get. It is a quality feeling laptop that has a highish resolution 2.2K display. It also has an Intel U-Series 12th Gen processor, which is reasonably power efficient for the performance you get. That means you'll get more juice out of your battery. It is also a 2-in-1, so you can use it as a tablet. Next, you've got one of my favorite budget laptops, the Asus ZenBook 14. This laptop has a gorgeous OLED 2.8K display. It has a more powerful Intel P-Series processor and a more comfortable keyboard. It has 8GB of memory and 256GB of SSD, so less than the Yoga 7i model that I just mentioned. I have got a full review of the Asus with the OLED screen that I covered on this channel, which I'll post a link to in the description below, so I'd suggest you go watch that if you're considering buying it. If you don't like either of those, check out the HP Pavilion X360 14. It's generally a good feeling laptop, and I've had great experiences with the Pavilions I've reviewed on this channel. Like the Yoga, it is also a convertible laptop. However, it only has a lower resolution Full HD display, and if you do buy it, make sure you at least get that model, as there is one with an even lower resolution panel. The one thing I would caution you with this laptop is, like many of HP's silver laptops, you've got light colored keys with a light colored backlight. This will make it hard to read the keys in certain lighting conditions. I'm not going to recommend any of Dell's Inspiron laptops. I did try several of them in store. For example, I used the trackpad on one. It just wasn't accurate compared to these three. Rounding out the budget laptops, I have to talk about the MacBook Air with the M1 chip. This is the model from last year, so not the current generation. But because of that, you can now find it on sale for some pretty hefty discounts. As you can see, $200 off. It's still a very relevant laptop. The M1 chip is still very powerful. It runs very quietly. In fact, it runs dead silent because it has no fan. It's still got a great screen. It's a very portable laptop. Look, it does push the range of what we would classify as a budget laptop, but if you search around for one with an open box discount, honestly, it's going to be a pretty good deal. And finally, if you are a budget shopper looking for a crazy good deal on something that's super portable, take a look at the Surface Laptop Go 2. It weighs only 2.5 pounds. It's got a small 12.4-inch screen, but honestly, it's good enough to be responding to emails and doing things like that. Now, this is the model with the Intel 11th gen processor from last year, but because of that, again, you're seeing it on sale, and when you take a look at the open box price, you're seeing it super cheap at around $400. By the way, if you don't see the same sales prices at Best Buy that I'm showing in this video, that's because Best Buy often rotates their sales. I would recommend regularly checking Best Buy's deal pages and downloading a price tracker like Honey to ensure that you're buying the laptop at the best price that they have offered it at. Alright, if you've got a bit more money to spend but aren't doing anything too intensive, you're mainly using the laptop to browse the web, office work, you're a student studying, maybe you're dabbling in some video editing but not doing anything too intensive, here are the laptops that I have for you. I have to start by first recommending the MacBook Air from this year with the M2 chip. It's got a larger display than last year's model. It still has a fanless design, so you won't hear any fan noise. It doesn't get warm to the touch, even though it has a more powerful processor inside, which is great. It's still lightweight, high quality machine, and honestly, it is plenty powerful, even if you want to do some video editing. Next is HP's higher end Spectre range. You've got the Spectre 13.5 inch, which I have right here. You've also got the Spectre 16. Both of these have excellent keyboards, the best keyboards I've used in a laptop. When it comes to the Spectre 13.5, you've got a great OLED screen, it's bright, it's color accurate, it's in a 3:2 aspect ratio, so if you're doing office work, say, or programming, you'll see a lot of information going down the page. And when you compare the 13.5 inch from this year to last year with the Intel 12th gen chip that it has this year, it's much more powerful. The downside of this laptop compared to the MacBook Air M2 that I just recommended is you will hear some fan noise. It's not overly disturbing and it's certainly not as disturbing as the model from last year, but you will hear it, especially compared to that laptop which doesn't have a fan at all. I have a full review on this laptop which I'll place a link to in the description, so check that out. And finally, if you'd like a large screen laptop that is still portable, I'd recommend taking a look at the Asus ZenBook Flip 15 and the Yoga 7i 16. Both are 2-in-1s. The Asus ZenBook weighs only 4 pounds, has a gorgeous OLED display, and a powerful Intel 12th gen H-series processor inside. The Yoga 7i has a slightly larger display for minimal extra weight. By the way, with Lenovo laptops, if you see a little I designation at the end of the number, it means the laptop has an Intel processor inside. If you don't, it has an AMD. Now for content creators, you simply should be buying the MacBook Pro 14 or 16. These are very powerful machines, and because they were released about a year ago, they're coming in at around $400 off, which makes them an excellent deal. They are still extremely relevant today. They've got fast SD card readers, excellent displays, and as I said, they are super powerful and they run very, very quietly. You'll be editing videos like butter. You won't hear much fan noise at all, if anything, from the laptop, especially when compared to PC laptops. These just should be at the top of your list. If you simply must do content creation on a PC laptop, say you like to do AAA gaming on the side, I would look no further than Lenovo's Legion Slim 7 range. Best Buy has several Legion Slim 7s worth considering. You've got the Legion Slim 7i from this year with Intel. That's the laptop I'd consider getting if you're doing a lot of Premiere Pro video editing, because Premiere Pro works much better off Intel. If you aren't using Premiere Pro, I'd take a look at the Legion Slim 7 from this year with AMD. And I'd also take a look at the Slim 7 from last year with AMD, the 4K model. It's a great laptop. I personally have owned that one because I actually fall into this use case myself of liking to do some gaming and also doing some video editing. Anyway, that laptop from last year is getting some insane discounts right now, so definitely look out for it. And I do want to mention the XPS 15 because I do feel that laptop is very viable for this use case. It's got a gorgeous edge-to-edge 15-inch display. It's stunning, by the way. The laptop looks great. It has a comfortable keyboard. It has an SD card reader. It is a very strong performer. That being said, its graphics are not going to be as good as those in the Slim 7 that I just mentioned. And also the pricing. I mean, it's very, very expensive, so only buy this laptop on an insane discount. And for my fellow software developers, firstly, if you are a student, honestly, any of the laptops I've talked about today, you can learn to code off. Now, if you're a professional software developer, there are some factors that separate a decent coding laptop, one you can code off, to an excellent. And here's what they are. Firstly, I'd like to see you with a crisp, high-resolution display that's a 16:10 or 3:2 aspect ratio. That will enable you to see a lot of lines of code on screen, which will help you understand the algorithm that you're coding for. Next, I'd like to see you with a high-performance processor that will enable you to compile code without having to wait long, and at a minimum 16GB of RAM so you can run multiple applications and VMs at the same time. And finally, I'd like the laptop to be portable so you can carry it around with you, because us coders, we like to be mobile. And for my favorite laptops for software developers, I'm going to start with the MacBook Pro 14. Honestly, I think this is the best coding laptop that has ever existed. You see a ton of information on screen. Also, it's very portable, it's very powerful, and you almost never hear fan noise. It's dead silent, which makes it very comfortable to use. If you want a larger laptop so you can see even more information on screen, the MacBook Pro 16, it's even more powerful. It's honestly a great laptop. If you must code on a PC laptop, the Legion Slim 7s that I mentioned earlier are the way that I would go. And finally, if you want a lightweight PC laptop, the HP Spectre 13.5, you'll see a ton of information on that screen because it's a 3:2 aspect ratio and it's OLED, so it's a great screen to look at. And that laptop has such a comfortable keyboard. And finally, if you love to game, I'd start by looking at Lenovo's Legion range. They make excellent gaming laptops. I've got the Legion 5 Pro right here. They have excellent displays, they're very solidly built, they are high performance machines, their keyboards are comfortable, and they don't make that much fan noise while you're using them, and they don't feel that warm to the touch, which is great. My next favorite gaming range is those by Asus, and Best Buy stocks some pretty powerful machines. Here's one with a 3070 Ti. Now, the reason I put it after the Legion range is because I find that the Asus laptops you hear more fan noise and you can feel more heat while gaming. If a portable gaming laptop is super important to you, I'd go for the Asus G14, which I personally own. I'd avoid something like the Alienware X14 as its trackpad is way too small and its secondary function keys don't light up. That being said, if you do go for a small screen gaming laptop, you absolutely will sacrifice how immersive the game feels while playing. And finally, if you are shopping for a gaming laptop and are on a bit of a budget, I would look no further than the Acer Predator Helios 300. I mean, look at this price. Best Buy is running a $500 sale on this laptop. So for $1,000, you get an NVIDIA GeForce RTX 3060. That is crazy powerful gaming graphics at this price point. A good friend of mine, Jared from Jared's Tech, who specializes in gaming laptops, reviewed this one and gave it a good review. And if you can't afford that laptop, I'd take a look at the HP Victus 15. This laptop, after Best Buy's sale, is $800 and it still has a fairly powerful NVIDIA RTX 3050 Ti inside. And I'd also watch the prices of the Acer Nitro 5 range. I used the 17-inch in store and I was pleasantly surprised at how nice the display looked and how comfortable the keyboard was. But before I go, a couple of other tips for shopping at Best Buy. I personally am a member of Best Buy's Total Tech program. It's a new program, and with that program you get an array of benefits. I like it because of the extended 60-day return period. That means I can be sure I love the laptop before I keep it. And then of course there is the Best Buy credit card, which I also have, which gives you extra rewards when shopping at Best Buy. That being said, I'm not here trying to push you to go get a credit card. Use your best judgment if you think this is the right thing for you. Well, that's all for today, folks. Links to all the laptops I recommended today will be in the description below. If you like this video, you know what to do. Smash that like button and get subscribed. Not only does it show your appreciation for the insane amount of work that goes into making these, but as I always say, it makes my mother very proud. Till next time, go do something awesome with your day, and I will catch you later.